Hello and welcome you crazy people to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and today I'm just going to be quickly going through an article that GW have released, I guess is the correct term, which basically just runs through some of the Kill Team basic rules. They actually call it Kill Team Rules 101, so I should really follow suit and we'll talk through that. I won't waste your time too much because there's, you could either read the article yourself or we'll just get on to the most important points is what I'm trying to say, but failing miserably. So Kill Team 101, we sort of already know this. It says Kill Team can be I like it how it says half an hour to 40 minutes. The previous article said about 40 minutes, but erring on the shorter side of things, that's fantastic news by my reckoning. Kill Team is reactive. It's an I go, you go thing rather than all of I go and then all of you go. Kill Team is tactical. I mean, there's no additional stuff there. So the units, so the important thing here is that we do get a data sheet basically for the Primaris Intercessor, which they're the basic Space Marine troops. So that's fine. There's a couple of interesting nuggets though that I say hidden away. It's not hidden because it talks about them. But it basically shows that it sounds like, where can we find this? Optional roles. So it sounds like by default you're a fighter, but some data sheets, or it says actually most data sheets, will allow you to be either a gunner or a sergeant. So a gunner essentially then lets you change the weapons, and a sergeant is basically higher leadership. So that makes sense. It sounds like everyone will be able to do that. It's still got all the keywords and stuff like that, which is nice for clarification and future updates and that kind of stuff. They've slightly tweaked the abilities, but essentially this is very similar to how a 40k data sheet looks. And in that sense, a lot of you guys who already play 40k or are already familiar with it will probably be happy about this. So in that sense, I'm also happy about it. Like, I didn't want it to be completely revolutionary. Like, it needs to keep some of the 40k DNA a little bit to keep people interested, I think. And this looks completely perfect, completely fine. Nothing crazy. It's got some specific rules that the intercessors and stuff like that are going to have. Again, I'm not going to necessarily go through them because you can either read them or you can go on them. And we're not doing like tactics or strategy for each army at the minute. We're just talking about the main things that we've learned in this article. Movement. So we actually get how the structure of the game is going to go, what kind of actions. So it is going to be in phases. So I think it's, which I'm not 100%, I mean, maybe that's what's going to take the game a long time, because it's not going to be I go, I move and shoot. It's going to be I move, then you move, then I move, then you move, which is interesting, because I was wondering just how much of a skirmish game it was going to be, like how quickly would people die. But if you look, they've still only got like, is it 2 wounds? They've only got 2 wounds, the intercessors, and if you've only got 5 of them, that game could be over very quickly. But there are things that are going to keep it to 40 minutes and keep the challenge there. So what it's going to be is everybody moves, then everybody shoots, and that kind of thing. However, it's not quite the case. So basically, you can move. That's obviously fine. And shoot in the shooting phase. That's fine. Or you can simply ready, and then you get priority to shoot. Now, I guess if the dual priority, there'll be some way of determining who goes first. But I think you can essentially break the order by readying, because it says, that allows you to shoot first. You can also charge, which allows you to attack first. So I think it's going to be move, shoot, and then melee attacking, basically. If you charge, you get priority in melee, but you can't shoot, obviously. And if you move, you can still shoot, but you can't. You don't shoot first, basically. You're not Han Solo, which is interesting. That's essentially. It says playing well will resolve around knowing when to ready, move, or charge. An interesting detail, which I'm fairly sure is correct, but obviously might be wrong. I'm not 100% sure where this happens. Shooting in combat could be here. But basically it says that if you charge, say you're 10 inches away, you roll an 8, then you actually move the 8. A failed charge is not, I don't move at all. And they say here that's because, like, then you have to decide when to charge. It becomes more tactical rather than just throwing charges out and hoping that you get high dice. When it comes to shooting, basically, anybody, if you're over half range, that's called long range, and you suffer a -1 to shooting. If the model is obscured like here, although it's a very small obscuration, if that's even a word, then that is also -1. Whereas this guy, he ain't obscured, so, you know, there's no -1 there. Death is the other last interesting part that we actually have some detail on. Essentially, when you lose all of your wounds, you don't necessarily die. It has sort of like, once you lose all your wounds, you can basically, you roll a dice. On a 3 or less, you are completely dead. On a 4+, on a 3 or less, you actually take a flesh wound. Sorry, I read it the wrong way around. You take a flesh wound. On a 4+, you're completely out of the action and you're dead. The more flesh wounds you have, the more likely it is that you get like a +1 to the roll, basically, so you quickly become out of action like the next time you suffer fatal wounds. Basically lets you cling on to dear life, trying to you know, change the game, so it's not over necessarily. You also lose, I think, like more morale. You also lose, I think you get a -1 to hit for each flesh wound you get, so a flesh wound is pretty significant, so it's not like somebody can just look out and then stay around forever. Just adds a little bit of like heroic moments, I guess. You can cling to the game and cling to the life. Morale, it doesn't really say too much about morale. It just says there's going to be individual morale and team morale. I don't think it really says anything further than that. And then there is an interview with the guy who, one of the guys who designed the team. But that's pretty much it. So you can see there are some rule nuggets in here. I mean, it's called Rules 101. It's really interesting to me, though, to see the data sheets, to find out the like core way that the game's going to work. Because it could have been, in my head, I was thinking maybe I was going to move, shoot, do all my stuff, and then it was going to be, then my opponent was going to take a unit, move, shoot, do all of his stuff. But it's not actually the case. The game's actually going to revolve around, we're going to have a movement phase, and there's probably an order in which people go, or maybe I just pick. Do you know what I mean? That could be the case. I don't know if it'll have a command system like Legion, but that's, you know, it's Rules 101. It's not Rules 102. Surely we will learn all that kind of stuff there. I never feel comfortable when I do a video on an article because how much I'm adding to this article, I don't know. But if you've not read the article and you really want to read it, please read it. If you have read the article and I've not said anything interesting, then I apologise. But if you can't be bothered watching the article or reading the article, but you watch this video, yes, I think this is for you. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, when we get more, we see like individual kill teams and stuff like that. But if I'm honest, I don't necessarily understand each faction well enough to really comment. But rules and learning the game, that much I can do. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this enough, kept it short enough. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe, and goodbye. Bye, guys.